morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to have a talk about some rumours, some leaks, some, call them what you will. You see, the lovely Primal Lugia, him of PokeGuardian.com, has gone and translated for us a poster and some other stuff that's been shown off over in Japan, and it's given us some information about that new Rebellion Crash set, which is going to be coming in the not too distant future. But also, it has clued us in on some cards that are coming. Some cards about which we don't have a huge amount of information, but we do have enough to make us a bit excited. Now, probably the coolest thing straight off the bat, you can see on this poster very clearly that Rebellion Crash is going to feature Toxicity V and Dragapult V. Now, Toxicity V shouldn't be a huge surprise to you. We've seen Toxicity V. We have seen the fact that it is definitely coming out. We know that it's coming in a box. We have seen it. I've even done a video talking about the card. It's fine. It's not great. It's fine. I did a video about it. I'll link it in the description. Now, you'll notice on the poster here that Toxicity has a lightning symbol above it. Wait, above it? No, below it. Which is basically saying, hey, you're getting a lightning Pokemon V. Well, Dragapult has a psychic symbol below it, so we're getting a psychic Dragapult V. Now, that's not that weird, because it is Dragon Ghost. It is a Dragon/Ghost Pokemon, so it would make sense to get a psychic Pokemon V. Now, having said that, it's also secondary Ghost. It is mainly a dragon. You know, Ghost is very much the secondary typing. And this makes me extremely confused. Because I know I showed you the other day that fairy Pokemon are going away. That video, by the way, blew up. It hit over 100,000 views, which for this channel is huge. Thank you to everyone that watched it. I'm delighted. And when fairy Pokemon are going away, I asked the question, I did a follow-up video, whether dragon Pokemon would be going away. And my general conclusion in that video was, well, hang on a second. If dragon Pokemon were going away, why would there be this big announcement about fairy Pokemon leaving and then say nothing about dragon? That seems weird to me. But the fact of the matter is, in the Sword and Shield base set, we saw no dragon Pokemon whatsoever. From all the promos we've seen so far, we have seen no dragon Pokemon whatsoever. And in VMAX Rising, now we've not seen the entire set. We've seen some cards from it revealed, but not all of them. We have seen 0 dragon Pokemon. We have not seen a single dragon Pokemon in the Sword and Shield block so far. Then we add into that fact that we've now got a Dragapult coming, which would make more sense as a dragon Pokemon, whose first typing, as it were, is dragon, who is coming as a psychic Pokemon, think Ghost. So, yeah. I mean, Dragapult is going to be a very popular Pokemon V. Dragapult is a very popular Pokemon. People are going to love it, and if it is competitively viable, that is going to make people extremely happy. But why is it not a dragon Pokemon? It's very confusing to me. I don't think they're getting rid of dragon Pokemon. I said this super clearly in my video where I asked the question, are they getting rid of dragon Pokemon? But I'll be perfectly honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, the more time that goes by, the more I am starting to think, well, I don't know. It's looking more and more like it might be going away. Not saying it is. I'm just saying that we are starting to get a string of rather big coincidences. Now, this is all from Rebellion Crash, and Rebellion Crash isn't actually due to come out until March the 6th. So I don't think it is Panic Stations yet. We've got a little bit of time. We've got just over a month. We're expecting Rebellion Crash to be fully revealed on the Japanese website the Friday before release, which would be the 28th of February. We're expecting VMAX Rising to be fully released and revealed on the Japanese website on Friday, so maybe we'll see some Dragon Pokemon around then. But we are starting to get a few too many signs for my liking. Now, what is far more exciting, as far as I'm concerned at least, is that on the sheet, it is basically telling us about a couple of cards which are going to be played. Now, this translation is basically myself and Primal Lugia mucking about with Google Translation, but it seems to fit. 2 general purpose cards required for deck construction. So they're not saying, hey, these are going to be 2 cards. When they say required for deck construction, they are saying we expect these cards to pop up in the majority of decks. Includes a Pokémon V, which has characteristics when you put it on your bench from your hand, and a Trainer's card that replaces your opponent's bench Pokémon with battle Pokémon. Expect to be used in most decks in the Sword and Shield series. So what that's telling us is there is going to be a Pokémon V with a coming into play ability, and we're getting a new Gusting effect. So we'll get to the Pokémon V in a moment, but let's go to the Gusting first. We need new Gusting. Our Gusting options at the moment kind of suck. We have got 3 Gusting options as of Sword and Shield. Now, Custom Catch is one we've been using for a while now. It's an item card, you play 2 at the same time, and you get to gust any Pokemon from your opponent's bench to their active. So you can gust anything in the active, but you got to play 2 at the same time. That makes it kind of awkward. When Cosmic Eclipse came around, we were introduced to Great Catcher, and Great Catcher is a very fun one, but unfortunately, it only gusts up EX and GX Pokemon. Discard 2 cards from your hand, swap your opponent's active Pokemon with one of their benched EX or GX Pokemon. And with Pokemon V becoming more and more prevalent as time goes by, this is going to get worse and worse and worse. But we did actually have, in Sword and Shield, well, it's not a new card per se, but we got a reprint of Pokemon Catcher. It gusts anything you like, but it is on a coin flip. And I think the biggest way to really show our issues with Gusting at the moment is, over in Japan, Pokemon Catcher is seeing a bunch of play. Whereas before it rotated out, it wasn't seeing basically any play. It was the odd tech as an item card that could flip the game on a coin flip, but everyone was just playing Guzma. Sure, Guzma was a supporter card, but it was you drag a Pokemon in the active. You also had to switch as well, but that could be really good and you could certainly build around it. And even if you really didn't want to switch, just put any Pokemon with free retreat on your bench. There we go. Whack it active, free retreat, you haven't switched. I mean, you have, but you haven't really. And before Guzma, we didn't care because we were playing Lysander. So that was fine. And before Lysander, we had Pokemon Catcher without the errata. But if you go back to the Heart Gold Soul Silver series, we had just lost Luxray GL level X. That was the one that gusted anything into the active when you level X'd it, which was basically like evolving, but had to be done in the active and wasn't technically evolving. And we used Pokemon Reversal. And nobody wanted to use Pokemon Reversal. Pokemon Reversal wasn't a good card. Pokemon Reversal then was Pokemon Catcher now. Gust anything into the active on a coin flip. And it made the format extremely flippy, but it was the best we had. Nowadays, you don't have to use Pokemon Catcher. We've got Custom Catcher, we've got Great Catcher. And to be fair, if you're playing a fire deck, we've also got Ninetales. Discard 2 cards from your hand that are fire energy. Gust anything active does give fire decks a pretty large advantage. But the fact of the matter is, we need a new Gusting card. We need one. This is going to be big. And the fact that they're saying it's going to be in every deck, or most decks, means it's probably going to be a good one. And just as a side note, no, they're not referring to the reprint of Pokemon Catcher, because Pokemon Catcher was reprinted in Sword and Shield. This poster has come out in Japan. In Japan, they have already had Pokemon Catcher back for about a month and a half. So there we go. Now, the other thing we're told is a Pokemon V with a coming into play ability. but again, expected to be used in most decks in the Sword and Shield series. Well, if we look at Pokemon with coming into play abilities that are seen in most decks, we are looking at Dedenne, and before that we're looking at Tapu Lele, and before that we're looking at Shaymin. Now, to be clear, there is nothing on the poster which says it is a consistency ability or a draw ability or something along those lines. But if you look at, let's call them special Pokemon, Pokemon whereby they are giving up 2 prizes, EX, GX, V, etc., that are played in basically every deck and have coming into play abilities, this is what we're looking at. These are the ones. Dedenne lets you discard your hand and draw a new hand of 6. Shaymin lets you draw until you've got 6 cards in hand. Tapu Lele lets you grab a supporter card from your deck and put it into your hand. Does that mean we're getting another one of these? And the answer very well may not be yes. The answer may very well be no. But if you're telling me about a Pokemon V with a coming into play ability that should see play in most decks, I'm sorry, that's where my mind goes first of all. This is all very exciting. It's kind of confusing. We don't have concrete information. We'll have to wait and see, so to speak. But oh my goodness, this sounds fun. And one more shout out to the lovely Primal Lugia for providing the information and the picture and all of that so that we could get on with our theories. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's what's happening. That's what I think. I'd like to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays, where you can find out about a whole bunch of games that don't have Pokemon in, but are still pretty gosh darned awesome, like Legends of Runeterra, with which I'm becoming obsessed. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.